Hey guys, so we wanted to film a quick tutorial on how to use high and dry products on your indicator and dry flies. So today we're going to be using the high and dry liquid floatant as well as their shake powder. And then we're also going to be using this little, it's called the Hairline Combo Tool. It's got a little comb and a brush to it, and it was originally meant for fly tying, but it works really well for indicators too. And then any kind of New Zealand wool or fabric indicator. So for our first step, we're going to place our indicator wherever you want on the line, and then you're going to pinch like a little loop into the line so that you're able to dip that indicator into the bottle. So first we're going to grab this liquid floatant, we're going to dip this in there just a little bit. Okay, then we're going to kind of shake it off. And with this stuff, you don't want it to be too dense on there or too overly saturated. So we're going to use our finger at first to kind of spread that floatant across your indicator. And then this is a good point to break out that hairline tool, and we'll just use that to work the floatant into the material a little bit better. And you don't want it to be too overly saturated because the dry powder won't stick. So we want to make sure that we really get it brushed in well and distributed evenly. And I'm kind of going back and forth between using the brush and the comb tool because they each work a little bit differently. So we're just going to brush this out. So this is what it should look like when you're done with this step. We want it to be spread out without any excess on there. And so our next step is we're going to dip it into our dry dust. So open this up, put our indicator in there. And we'll shake this up. And I actually like to do 2 treatments of the dry dust. A lot of the times there's still just a little bit too much liquid float in the first round. So what I'll do is I'll take my brush again and we're going to brush all of this dust through the indicator. And really get it in there good. You want to make sure that you're evenly distributing throughout the entire indicator and not just on one side or on just the bottom. So now that we've got it kind of distributed here, we're going to dip it one more time. Shake this again. And so that by this point you should have a pretty good amount of dust on there that's sticking or adhering to the indicator. And this is what your final product should look like, nice and high floating. This high and dry stuff works really well for you know, if you're teaching someone for the first time or they're just getting into fly fishing, because it'll last through quite a few drifts and still be visible enough that those anglers aren't missing the strikes. So now we're out on the water and we're trying out this technique with some dry flies rather than an indicator. Today we're throwing a small pink beetle pattern. And terrestrials like this seem to work really well in the spring and tend to do well on our local wild water.